Hi, my name's Kelly Gilson, and I'm the Executive Director at United Way Oxford. I invite you to join us on our new Let's Talk Local Oxford series. We'll share everything about United Way Oxford, our work, our partners, our investments, and how everything we do is designed to create positive social change right here at home in Oxford County. Not only do we want to share, but we hope to inspire you to join in our efforts and learn ways in which you too can show your local love. So, let's talk local, Oxford.
Woodstock Libro Credit Union is the proud sponsor of Let's Talk Local Oxford.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. I want to start by thanking Libro Credit Union for their sponsorship. They are such a wonderful community supporter, and we are grateful to have them on our team, and we really appreciate their commitment to helping us do this podcast. So thanks, Libro. Just really quickly, I want to reflect on our last episode, and we had the opportunity to chat with Amanda Kreiger, who's our Manager of Resource Development here at United Way Oxford. And Amanda really gave us a great overview about workplace fundraising and how we work with companies and corporations and employee groups and labor groups, and how together, more than ever, we can create that kind of meaningful change that we want in our community. And it's because of so many wonderful workplaces and their employees that United Way is able to have the impact that we do. And we're thrilled today to welcome Amanda back. So welcome back, Amanda.
Hello, Kelly. Thank you so much.
And we're going to continue to talk about fundraising, but today we're going to take a bit of a different slant, and we're going to talk about individual fundraising. And for us, when we talk about individuals, we mean community members, residents across Oxford County who are committed and supportive of United Way, and how we can all come together as a community to support vulnerable people here across our community, across Oxford County, and how United Way has that kind of impact. So thanks for joining us again today, Amanda.
Yes, thanks, Kelly. I'm excited to talk about fundraising, as it is my team and I's main purpose here at United Way Oxford, and why we do it and how we do it.
And you rock it, so I'm thrilled to have you back. First of all, one of the things that I think is really important is often people, when they think about fundraising, they will think about workplace fundraising and employee giving, specific for United Ways. And yet, and that's a massive part of our annual campaign. I think we had indicated about 65%, give or take, comes from that kind of fundraising. But the individual side is also really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So our campaign last year, 18% of the revenue that we raised came from our individual donor base. And those are donations that typically start coming in the fall. But we have been expanding that year-round reach with our individual donors through different ways of giving. As opposed to the letter that comes out and the one-time gift back with check or credit card or cash, we've really tried to focus on making it more accommodating for everybody, like with monthly giving, where you can give a little bit each month and have that impact throughout the entire year.
Which really mirrors the convenience and I would say the affordability, actually, of employee giving through payroll, right? So it is so different when you can give a little bit all the time versus one lump sum, because not everyone's in a position where they can do that.
Absolutely. And when you speak about our Leadership Challenge grant and that matching program that we have, $1,200 at once is a lot to bite off in September, especially if you've got kids back to school and settling back in after summer vacation and Christmas coming up the coming months. But if you can do that as $100 a month throughout the year, you still qualify for that Leadership Challenge grant match, assuming you're a new leader donor, but it's more affordable month to month.
It really is. And, that's a great segue to maybe a little more information on leadership giving and what that actually means and what that looks like. We know that donors, there are nationally, this is not just for our United Way, but nationally, there are fewer individuals giving, but those who give are giving more. Certainly that's a trend. We would like to see more individuals giving so that we can all be part of the solution, but we also recognize that not everyone is always in the same position. But can you tell us a little more about what leadership giving is?
Yeah, so leadership giving with United Ways is defined as a donor who contributes $1,200 a year or more through our campaign. And we've been so appreciative of the ability to start a grant program 5 years ago now, where anybody who comes on as a new leadership donor or at the $1,200 level or is able to increase their current leadership gift, it's a match through the Leadership Challenge grant. So it's a great way for people to donate, but then also double what that donation would be. So that $1,200 automatically becomes $2,400 that gets invested into United Way and back into our community. So we've been very fortunate to have that program come to fruition.
That double the bang for your buck. Mm-hmm. That's a great incentive. If you want to really make a difference in your community, that's doubling your impact right there, to start. And I think the other thing that's interesting is your $1,200 donation to be a leader donor actually does not cost you the full $1,200 over the course of the year, because you will qualify for tax breaks as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're actually getting that double the impact for an end result that will be less than that for you. So a great way to really make an investment in your community.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of tax breaks, something else that donors don't always realize is we accept other donations besides cash, check, and credit card. We accept stocks and mutual funds as donations. So we have a form on our website, simple enough to fill out with your investor, and that you can donate those stocks. And that's actually a larger tax break than donating the cash directly to us. So another way to make that impact and contribute more, because you're saving more.
So for some of our donors, especially depending at certain stages in their life and where they happen to be, if they work with their allied professionals, so their accountants and their investment folks, they can really maximize their donation, but the return that's going to help them on the other end as well. Mm-hmm. So a great way to, again, make a strategic investment that is really a win-win.
Yeah, from a donor perspective and from an organization, we've been working hard over the years to diversify that revenue stream, and so we're open to all those different giving options.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you mentioned earlier, we've really tried to change our ability to meet people's needs as far as the needs of the donor. So whether it's monthly giving or credit card giving or however that works, because we're not just a campaign that starts in September and wraps up around Christmas and calls it a day. I mean, we really are campaigning and fundraising all year round to do the work that we do. And so, talk a little bit maybe about how easy it is or how many different ways someone might be able to make a donation.
Yeah, so through our own initiatives, so there's two different ways I'm going to speak to this. Through our own initiatives through United Way, we have other opportunities to give besides a straight donation. Like last year, we had our 12 Days of Giving campaign. So in December, again, with a match program from Meglin Site Furniture, you could donate a gift of hope to that hard to buy for person at Christmas time, or your mailman or your teacher, and that gift was matched. So a great way to contribute a little bit and have that match made. Things like Day of Caring. We've had so many donors step up in the past year to donate kits, whether that's an emergency backpack or a welcome home kit, to support our Supplies for Students program and provide a family with a gift card for shopping for back to school. So there's ways that you can invest in our community fund, and then there's ways that you can invest in very targeted programs and initiatives that we have going on throughout the year. And then as an individual or a family or a book club, we have people that host their own kind of fundraising events, and then the proceeds will come back to us. I always love talking about Mackenzie, who for years has supported the Supplies for Students program through raising monarch butterflies as caterpillars and selling them to families and watching the monarch butterfly hatch into a butterfly. But she's done great success with that over the years and contributed that back to our office.
And she has done that since she was just a little one. And it's a great fit for Supplies for Students because she is that little student as well. And it's a beautiful way to show that everyone has something to give and can do something to make their community a better place. I love that story as well. The other thing I think that's interesting is, we have our community fund, which is the big pot when we're out doing our fundraising, where we use our wonderful volunteers and our community experts, and we spend so much time reviewing applications and making funding decisions. But we also do have those very specific targeted gifts that we will go and they're chosen because they really work with the programs and partners we select and that we fund regularly. So they're already vetted, if you will. And there's a real nice assortment of things where, again, if it's something specific someone's looking for, especially with something like a garden party or like a book club night out or a hostess gift, for instance, they could do something like that.
Yeah. One of the benefits to our job is that we get to meet the people whose lives have been changed. So if we have the opportunity to share those stories or share that passion with a group, we're always happy to do that. It's what makes us so passionate about what we do and keeps us going year over year to raise that money because we can see where it's going. So if we have the opportunity to come to a dinner party or a barbecue, we can come and we can speak to that impact and share the work that's happening in the community with your investments. It's important to us that our donors know when they make a donation what happens to it and that it's making a difference.
Absolutely. You don't have to ask us twice. That's the thing. We are always excited to be asked out for anything. So yes, we will be there. But it's true. We say all the time, we want our donors to be informed donors. It matters. It matters when you're making an investment with your own money to build your community, to know what has happened with those dollars, how they've been used, how they've changed lives. Not only because that's accountable, but because it makes you feel good when you actually hear some of those details.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, invite us out and we can share some of those stories.
Yeah, you can also sign up for our newsletter. So every month we have an e-newsletter that gets mailed out and it shares some of those stories either with our funded partners in the community and some of the work they're doing, or our volunteers that are doing work on our behalf, or recipients where we have people in the community with lived experience that have been impacted by your donation to United Way. We do share those stories through our e-newsletter, so it's a great way to stay connected to us as well.
And that's a monthly newsletter, correct?
Yes.
So just for folks at home that might think, ooh, don't want to be inundated with emails, it is only a monthly newsletter. And so it is a wonderful way to learn. Not just about United Way, but as you said, some of the great partners we have in our community. But we promise not to be a nuisance by any stretch.
Yeah, and our website has some of those stories on there as well. It's unitedwayoxford.ca to learn more.
Now, what about things like planned giving? Do you want to talk a little bit about what that is? And a lot of people may not even really understand what we mean when we talk about that.
Yeah, so something nationally that's been growing over the past couple of years is awareness around leaving a gift in your will and a planned gift. It really speaks to making a difference once you're gone, that legacy feeling that in your community you can continue year over year having an impact on the community where your family and your children and your grandchildren are still growing up. And on top of that ability to share your legacy and to leave that impact. There's also the tax benefits that your investment planner can speak to you about. That really is a win-win for everybody in that situation and what works best for where you're at.
I love when you think about the legacy of what that could be and how that really is the follow-up to what we really talk about a donation as an investment. So it's not just giving the money, it's investing in good for your community and your fellow citizens, and that legacy just takes it up to another notch towards the end. So it's a great combo, and there's wonderful folks across our community that are very well versed, lawyers, financial advisors, accountants, etc., who can help guide decisions and give clarity and information on that. Mm-hmm. Amanda, one of the other things that we have launched in the last few years we call them affinity groups in the United Way world, which is just kind of a lingo jargony thing, but it's Women United, and we're super excited by Women United and what the opportunity is there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So Women United launched at the end of 2019. And what it is a group of like-minded, community-minded women that are coming together and really want to focus on local issues here in Oxford County and how we can make a difference in the lives of women and children that are living in our community, our neighbors and our co-workers. So we get together a couple times a year and do fundraising events and do awareness pieces, and we've hosted our community conversations through Women United. But really, it's just that force of women who care, that have each other's backs, and want to make an investment in their community to change lives. And that is a part of our leadership giving campaign as well. To that, as part of Women United, if you are a leadership donor, you're automatically into our Women United group, and welcome to join us at any of our events.
And those investments really do raise up women and children across our community. And I love the fact that, like so much that we do, because I know people really do think of us as fundraisers, and it's ironic that we're talking about fundraising, and I'm going to say, but remember, we only fundraise because we want to make those investments. Like that's our end game, and our goal is to change lives in our community and change social conditions. We do it. One of the main ways we're able to do that is through our partners, because we have funds to allow them to do the good work that they do. But what is, I think, so cool about Women United is it's not just about the fundraising. As you said, that's a big piece, but it's really about learning, like deeply understanding some of the issues that are happening in our community, and raising awareness and understanding and all of those things, because we don't know what we don't know.
Definitely. And we've had speakers at the events that we have hosted, and everybody walks away with a deeper understanding of the needs and what others in our community are facing, some of those struggles that they're facing.
And for far too many, those struggles are real. And they're deep, and they're complicated, and they're complex, and it requires multiple partners and multiple programs, and it it goes back to that, it takes a village. And these women really want to be a part of the village that are creating better lives for our community. So I think that's a really interesting overview of fundraising from the individual side. What are some of the other opportunities? So we've talked workplace, we've talked corporate and employee groups. Then we have the individuals. Anything else? Maybe I'm thinking sponsorship is always topical. Hint, hint. But go ahead.
Yes. Like Kelly mentioned earlier, we really want our donors to feel like we can make this a win-win situation for them, but also teach them and educate and raise that awareness. So if there is something that you are very passionate about, we would appreciate reaching out, and we can talk about what that best fit might be. And one of the reasons why sponsorship is so important, because it's one of the ways that we try to keep our costs low and invest as much as we can back into the community. We look for sponsors for pretty much anything we do. For example, our podcast, for any printed materials that get mailed out, for our special events and initiatives. So if there's ever an opportunity that you want to connect and work together on that, reach out to us anytime, either as an individual or a business owner. We are happy to help. Also, special events. Speaking of,
special events are fun.
they might be coming back into our world in the next little bit here.
Goodness.
Can't
we
wait.
all need people, humans.
Yes. So whether that's our own special event that you would like to support financially or by volunteering, or hosting your own event and looping us into that to help where we can. And lastly, you can visit our website. So as we mentioned earlier, unitedwayoxford.ca to learn more about what we're doing, to sign up for our e-newsletter, and to donate.
Absolutely. Well, I think on that note, it's a great place to end this podcast. So thank you for sharing, Amanda, and for really helping to inform community members about a variety of options that are available to them, and hopefully why we are a great vehicle for them to show their local love as we show our local love, to make our community a better place for everyone, which is certainly what we strive to do. And so thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone who's listening. We appreciate your support. And on our next episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about our own United Way programs, services, and the impact that we have. Because I often think people don't recognize that we do some programming ourselves, in addition to all of the programming that we support with our wonderful, wonderful partners. So tune in next time to learn a little more about that. If you have any questions at home, please do not hesitate to email Mike at unitedwayoxford.ca. Mike is our go-to on this podcast, and he keeps us organized and moving forward. We're thankful for that energy, absolutely. A final thank you to Libro Credit Union for their support for this. We couldn't do it without them, so thank you to them. And thank you all for listening and for joining us. We hope to see you or hear you, or you hear us, however that works, next time on Let's Talk Local Oxford. Thank you and take care. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Local Oxford. If you would like to learn more about United Way Oxford, our work, our engagement, our volunteer opportunities, our partners, or to even make a donation, please visit unitedwayoxford.ca or call our office. We love to chat, and we really love visitors too. If, however, you find yourself needing a hand to locate a program or a service, please call 211, our information and referral service. They're there to connect you to local supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Remember, 211, they are there to help. Until next time, join with us by showing your local love. We all could use a little more of that. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Local Oxford, proudly sponsored by Woodstock Libro Credit Union.